Welcome back to Chat Show Network. Right now we've got part two. Darren and Lilia, I mean, you must have danced all over the world.
Just about.
Yeah,
there are still places we haven't been.
Yeah,
we still have on our list.
Yes.
Okay, where's on the list do you want to go next?
Oh, we have South Africa on the list.
Australia, New Zealand.
Australia, New Zealand.
Haven't been there.
They're the only continents really we haven't been to. Pretty much been everywhere else. From our point of view, you know, we get paid to go to the Far East, to Japan, to America, to go and do shows or to teach. Our next couple of weeks is unbelievable, the amount of travelling we have coming up. So, and it's fantastic. It's a great life. We have a great time. We work very, very hard, but you know, at the same time, we get to see some amazing places.
But it's up to us to make sure we see these places. Otherwise, it's airport, hotel, ballroom, hotel, airport, back home, and we come back. So what did you see?
We always try and say an extra day. Somewhere new. Somewhere new. We haven't been there before. We always try and say it. We'll say, pay myself, we'll say an extra day, and we'll
because we have to see this, don't we? Otherwise it's pointless.
There's a slight rewind, but you've done Strictly Come Dancing in July last year. Now, from that, did you realise how massive it was going to be? Like how huge and how much it's going to propel you?
We came in at the second series because we were contracted in the Far East. We couldn't do the first series, so we sort of came on, if you like, after the initial series had been so successful. And it
was a bit of a gamble, I suppose,
yes,
because we knew how big the first one was, and it was pretty big. But I don't think we realised how big the second one was going to be. I don't think anybody did.
The second show was much more successful. The level of dancing from everybody on the show was put much higher. I think the competitiveness on the show also, from a dance perspective, was higher as well. So yes, it has been amazing. I mean, the last 3 months of the year were just absolutely mad.
But do you know how many people watched Strictly Come Dancing?
At its peak, it was 11 million.
11 million viewers is huge. Does that not make your knees shake when
you know, it doesn't. The funny thing is it doesn't, because when you're in the studio doing the actual show, you only have maybe 100 people watching you there, so it kind of feels quite small. But when you get home and you watch it back on video and then you think, okay, so right now so many people, then it gets you. Which is actually quite good, because I think if you were dancing and thinking about that at the same time, it would,
I think
it would kill you.
I mean, you could
mentally,
really
it would
freeze
kill you.
mentally if you thought about the fact that you were going to be dancing in front of 11 million people. Best thing to do is just do it for that studio audience and get, bring them into it as opposed to the people watching at home.
Okay, Darren, first, you danced with Jill Halfpenny. Was that a task or was it a pleasure?
Absolute pleasure. I mean, Jill was fantastic to dance with. She picked up the choreography so very quickly. She was very, very focused onto what she wanted to do. She wanted as much information as I could give her as well, which is great from my perspective, because it makes my job so much easier. She wanted knowledge, she wanted to know what was what and everything else. So we had a great time. We had some really good laughs. We worked very, very hard. I think we did more hours than anybody.
Did you have any instinct that you were going to win this?
I think everybody had a good shot on the first show. After the first show, you have an idea of who's good at what and who's going to be where. But at the end of it, it comes down to the general public and whether they like you and they like what you do.
Now, Lilia, you were partnered with Alan Jones. Tell me more, come on.
Amazing, great, from...
2 left feet, no?
Actually, he had one left and one right at the end of it.
I sense a bit of having intense training there.
There was a lot of intense training, but actually he was very, very determined. He's a character who is a very big perfectionist, which was sometimes actually unfortunate because I was knackered. He drove me mad at the end because he wanted to do it over and over again, but it was good because he put 100% into it, and considering how busy he was, with his tour, and he had to travel all over the place. Very, very good, and we got on great, so I really enjoyed it.
I like the fact that you can take someone who's not like a professional dancer or even a dancer.
Never danced formal lesson at all,
and take them, and I mean, I would say you couldn't do that to me, but then seeing what you've done with the other guys on the show, I would say you could do that. But if there was one person in the entire world that you could dance with, okay, whether they're a dancer or not, who would it be? One person.
They've asked me this question over and over again over the period of Come Dancing, and I don't have one.
Really?
No, I don't know.
You could just say me, it's fine.
Okay.
Thank you. Darren?
Who would it be? Oh dear. I don't know, probably one of the... if they hadn't danced before, I'm not sure. As a dancer, one of the very famous dancers from the sort of like 1950s and 60s movies, I think would be good.
Fred Astaire and...
Not necessarily Fred Astaire,
No,
or
yeah.
Ginger Rogers. To sort of like to
Yeah,
see
but that's
how
a
they
dancer,
would.
though.
Yes, as a dancer, just somebody famous like that.
He would dance you around, or she would dance
yes,
you
probably,
around.
more than likely.
Do you know?
But yes, as a, you know, I don't know. We'll see what comes up in the future.
Well, stay with us on Chatshow Network. We'll be back in just a second with more of what's going to happen with Darren and Lilia in the future.